This is Paranormal Short Session 1 by Keith Evans at an undisclosed location. Tonight I'm going to be using my thermal imager. Also, it's Tuesday, the 10th of January 2023. This is my first paranormal session of 2023. At least the first one that I've taped. So I'm going to be using my C5 Thermal Camera, which is a FLIR instrument. I'm using my Onvoy by Ghostbox for yes and no. My Ovilus 5, so the ghosts of spirits can use their energy to choose words from my Ovilus 5's database. And I'm going to be using my Olympus EVP Recorder. In fact, I want to ask the question right now for the ghosts of spirits. Let me turn it on. Are there any ghosts of spirits here that have a question for me? Are there any ghosts or spirits that are here that have a question for me? Are there any ghosts or spirits that are here that have a question for me? Well, I can't make that out, but it does sound like there was some type of communication. Can you repeat your answer? I could not understand. Can you repeat your answer? I could not understand. I'm not sure. It could be. It's so sensitive. It might be picking up my hand, my fingers as I move to turn it off. So I'm not sure if that is a response from a ghost or spirit or just my fingers thumbing around in the dark to turn off the, to stop it, and then to once it's stopped, then it's not recording anymore. So I think that's what I'm hearing, but I might be wrong. All right, I'm going to turn that off for now. I would like to just get a yes or no from the ghosts or spirits as far as is that a no? Do you have a question for me? If it's a no, then how come? All right, answer me on the obvious as far as how come you don't have a question for me.
Restore character.
As it says, restore character. You don't think I have a good character? That's what it says, restore character. All right. Well, I'll let that sink in for a bit. All right, let's go over here and take a look around the room, see if we can see any cold spots. It's kind of cold outside, so the door being that cold probably isn't any big deal. The range is what from, looks like what I'm looking at now is 73 degrees, 0.9 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know why it's not. And the range looks like it goes from 78.9 to 67.7. Well, it came in clear now. There may have been a ghost or spirit or something in front that was causing it to be blurry like that. I had that problems when I was filming in one location in Apalachicola. There was a ghost or spirit Annie who liked to get in front of the camera. That was her signature. When she got in front of your camera, it would not focus because somehow the ghost or spirit's electromagnetic energy was confusing the camera, or at least that's what the camera was picking up. So that's 74.3 degrees Fahrenheit is where the little circle in the center, at purple area that I'm pointing at, which is a couch. And it shows that the highest temperature is 79.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Lowest temperature is 68.7. So right now, I would say the Olympus recorder is where the circle is, and it's warm. It's 91.3 degrees, and it's what, kind of like a purplish pink. And then move back over to the purple couch, which is kind of pinkish. That's 73.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's move over and look at the floor. The floor is relatively warm. It's like some type of stone type tile. It's like a, I don't know what you would call it, but it's a hard surface, like a, I think it's some type of stone. And it's 75.7 degrees. And it's kind of yellow. So that holds in the heat. Let's move over here to my leg. This is coming up like bright yellow white. And it's 90.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. All right, I think we got another word on the Ovilus. Restore character and density. Let me see, density. Restore is RESTORE. Character is CHARACTER. Density is DENSITY. So, ghosts or spirits, is it okay if I ask you a question? Yes or no? I'm trying to think. I turned the one up all the way to the right. And I'm trying to remember what the one all the way on the right is. I think it's electromagnetic energy. So ghosts and spirits should have, be able to manipulate the yes or no. Okay, are you a man? Nothing. When you passed away, were you an adult? Do you like chicken? Heard a tap. I thought it was from behind me. Yeah, this is a fully operational single family dwelling. I don't think that was coming from the refrigerator. Well, there's like a little humming sound from a ceiling fan in the other room, which is, I guess it's on just about high speed. So if you hear that, it's not paranormal. All right. Can you ghost and spirits use my Ovilus 5? It's the piece of equipment that I'm waving up and down. Can you use that to use your electromagnetic energy to choose a word to answer my question? Which city in Florida did you live in? At the same time, I'm going to use the recorder, the Olympus recorder, to see if I can lead, Lead. I don't think there's any city in Florida named Lead. All right, let me ask the same question with my uh, Olympus recorder. What city in Florida or what town in Florida did you live in when you were alive? What city in Florida or what town in Florida did you live in when you were alive? Yeah, I can't make out what it's saying. Did you live in any other state other than Florida? Did you live in any other state other than Florida? Well, if anyone at home can make out what was said on the Olympus EVP recorder, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Because it didn't sound like anything other than maybe my fingers, picking up the sound of my finger touching the recorder. You can see with the FLIR, you can see the Olympus recorder left, in the center the Ovilus 5B, and to the right the Onvoy, set up for yes and no. Close up look at the Onvoy. Alright, let's look. Since the floor is kind of warm, it's holding that yellowish look. If there's any cold spots, we should be able to pick them up easily if a ghost or spirit is utilizing energy from the environment to create a cold spot. We should be able to see it on the floor here. Are there any ghosts and spirits motivated to do that for me so I can see a cold spot? Because whatever that type of material is, it's like a stone type material on the floor, but I don't think it's actual stone. Well, the yellow reading is a center circle. Up in the top left-hand corner, it shows 72.0 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now, my scale with this photo, or whatever's on the screen, it's picking up the range between 75.7 degrees Fahrenheit down to 64.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Around 11 degrees difference from cold to hot in degrees Fahrenheit. I don't see any cold spots. But that's the target you want to get. If you're up like this area here, where it's kind of cool, getting near the window where the blinds are, if there's a cold spot there, you probably wouldn't see it. Because most ghosts or spirits, when they make a cold spot, it's either going to be like the bluish, reddish area that the circle's at, or it'll be black like that. Usually they're usually cold. You see the black area, and that's about 64.0 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, let's look over here. Let's see what we have. That's another window. That area there is usually a cold spot or a cold area is about that temperature and that color. Kind of like a dark blue, bluish purple type. All right. Within that circle, it's like 70.2 degrees. Well, no cold spots, so cold spots are probably the least. I probably did better with cold areas at the Hayes house than any other place. They were consistent, and they were in areas where you wouldn't expect them to be, like up high where the heat should rise near the ceiling. So, and the one day that I caught cold spots, there was one really long cold spot, like a 2x4, in the northeast corner. of the Pat and Kathleen room. At the time I was doing the paranormal session, I didn't even know that Pat and Kathleen's bedroom was on the first floor. So, and then there were three undulating cold areas, kind of like a silhouette that you would shoot at, like a pop-up target in the army. I don't know if they use pop-up targets anymore, but they used to when I was in, and they were kind of like silhouettes like that in shape, and it was going from like 3 to 2. The third one would kind of like go out of sight and then come back in. So that was probably the most different cold areas that I received at the Hayes house. And then that day in the kitchen, there were either 2 or 3 almost like oblong cold spots on the ceiling where it should have been warmer at the ceiling level. And that day the AC was off. So there was no air conditioning vents or anything like that in the kitchen. And it was the old first floor kitchen. Now that the new owner who purchased the Hayes house early 2019, now that he's done renovations, the first floor original kitchen is now a bedroom. So if you go there, you're not going to see a kitchen any longer. All right, let me turn up the sensitivity a little bit more. Informed. Let's see. Lead. Lead is Lead. I don't know of any town in Florida called Lead. Inform is INFORMED. Okay, inform me. Informed. Past tense, you've already informed me. Could you remind me? I don't remember what you informed me about. All right, use the Onvoy, this piece of equipment, for yes and no. I'm waving it up and down. I'm going to turn up sensitivity. Have you already informed me? Now maybe when the ghosts or spirits are near the Ovilus 5, if they might choose a word involuntarily while communicating with another ghost or spirit. So maybe the informed is not intended for me to have heard or seen. So if it's a ghost or spirit that's not familiar with the Ovilus 5B, they may not realize that somehow their electromagnetic energy might choose a word just by being close to it. I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of the Ovilus 5. I will say one thing. This yesterday